What's going on, everybody? It's Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord. This is the third and final episode just today. Don't worry, it's not third and final forever. It's just today. But this is the third and final episode today. And what I wanted to do was welcome Mike from One Rental at a Time. Good to have you here, my friend.
I look forward to this.
And wanted to give an update on a deal that I admittedly went completely apoplectic on about 6 weeks ago. I lost my ever-loving mind.
I remember.
Yeah, well, we do have to kind of categorize them.
Yeah, you have levels. That one was pretty bad.
I was mental. I was looking for things to break. So anyway, basically to refresh everybody's memory, I had a deal that I went in on. It was a very unique property. It was a single family home that was 3-bed, 1.5 bath. It was a mobile home was also on the property, which was a 1-bed, 1-bath. And it also had a building that we'll call it a nature building because it had heat, but it didn't have any, it had heat, but it had no hot water or no water.
Okay.
And then it had another building, had 4 buildings on this property, Michael, 4. And then the other building was a mechanic building that actually has a car lift and truck lift in it, which to me in my business as a self-manager, as I grow, having access to a lift for my trucks is really, really, really important.
Yeah, that's cool.
And when I say trucks, it's only 2. It's not 10.
Yeah,
it's
technically plural.
Yes,
but
it is exactly technically plural, but still just 2. So before everybody starts going, oh, his company's massive, it's 2.
2.
So with that being said, so we went in with an offer. It was listed on the MLS for $240,000, which was already a steal.
Mm-hmm.
But we get in there and we start to understand why it's so low priced. It needs a decent amount of work. It's livable, but everything is dated.
Yeah.
So start looking at the deal. We talk to the agent. The agent says, if you come in at 200, I think we'll get a deal done.
Okay. Their advice. Yep.
Their advice. We go in, we give them the offer for 200.
And again, at the time you were willing to do more than that, but you took the agent's opinion.
Correct. Took the agent's opinion, offered the 200.
Yep.
And then they came back and they countered and they said, well, he wants to leave a bunch of his stuff that he doesn't want to take with him.
Fine.
And I was like, okay.
Right,
and
so a couple of dumpsters, no big deal.
Exactly. A couple of dumpsters and a few days worth of labor, all in maybe another couple, $2,000-$3,000, not a big deal. So we say, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And then we also say no inspections. I walked the property. I was there for about 2.5 hours, 2 hours. I walked everything. There's nothing that's not easily repaired for a self-manager that, like what we do. Pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
We then get I'm trying to get a hold of him. I'm trying to get a hold of him. Yeah, I'm still trying to sit down with him because I really want to present it, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden we get an email that says, we've taken another cash offer. Appreciate it. That's basically it.
The Dear John letter.
The Dear John letter that we've all gotten, that we all hate.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm more than a little bit angry. I literally drove out to this guy's house twice because he wasn't represented well by his agent, because I said to her, I need to know the 3 most important things to him. And if I know what those things are, I'll make sure that the offer is what he would want it. Mm-hmm. She basically continued to reassure us that things are good, things are good, things are good. My broker calls me on Monday night and says, so I'm just getting back in the office and there is something on my desk. And I was like, I didn't do it.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It might've been my idea, but I didn't do it. And he's like, no, nothing like that. I was like, okay, what do we have? He said, that property's back on the market. I was like, what? I was like, it's a cash deal. How's it back on the market? He goes, it's back on the market. I said, he's like, do you want me to make the call? I was like, of course I want you to make the call.
Yeah.
So
I'm not that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel better now.
Yeah, I'm pissed, but I'm not that pissed. So he then calls me back the next morning and he says, okay, so she just called me back. I did talk to her. They had somebody at 235, all cash, decent sized deposit, walk away.
Ooh.
And I was like, what caused that? And they were just like, it was cold feet. We were supposed to close today on July 28th or whatever. And then they were going to basically do a $0 lease back till the end of September.
Got it.
$0 lease back for me. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, it gives me
No
a
big
month
deal.
to get everything organized. So that way I
Yeah.
know I'm hitting it hard that day with 30 days notice for
Yeah.
pretty much everybody. It's perfect. So he says, so what do you want to do? And I said, well, let's have the conversation of what they're looking for. And so I look at the deal, I rerun the numbers. I'm like, all the numbers still are what all the numbers are, except, believe it or not, 6 weeks ago, my interest rate was higher.
Oh,
6 weeks
There
ago,
you
the deal got better.
yeah, a
The
little
deal
bit.
got better.
Yeah.
So
Go figure. The Fed raises rates twice by 75% or 75 basis points, and your rate gets better. This
shocking.
world is wacky.
Shocking,
Wacky.
right?
Yeah, wacky. Crazy.
So I go back in at 225,
Hmm.
225, and still with a decent sized deposit. So we go back at 225 and I say, basically, yeah, you can have your lease back. We'll close in 30 days or something, and you can have your lease back to the end of September.
So again, we're just spitballing here. I would have again given them 2 offers. I would have said 200K cash close in 2 weeks or 10 days, or as fast as you can prove title is clean.
Yeah.
We'll close.
Yep.
Or 225 with a loan appraisal and blah, 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 blah. What do you want? You never know. This guy might've been burned and like, dude, give me the cash now.
So here's what ended up happening. That was with a cash deal. So
Oh, sure.
now, so yeah, so now so here's what happened. So this was a step that I left out, my bad. When we went back to them, we said, what are the conditions that need to be in the deal? She's like, he's only interested in doing a cash deal now, nothing finance, no inspections.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay. So I look at it and I talked to my broker and I said, normally I would lower my price.
Yeah.
But I walked the property. I know the property. It's still an absolute grand slam. Like, this thing makes 43% day one.
Mm.
So the numbers are ridiculous. It's because it's a little bit unconventional,
Mhm.
but you've got the one bedroom.
I still would have gone in at 200, man. No chance.
So I still went in 225 and they're just like, well, because he just lost that other deal. So they're like,
Dude, exactly.
I get it. And they said no.
They said no.
They said no.
Oh man.
They said no to my 225 with a $20,000 deposit.
So let me ask you a question. Did your agent go back to the other agent? Because you can't talk to her, or at least I wouldn't want you to.
Yeah.
That'd be bad. And your agent did your agent ever ask, well, you told me before 200 was okay. Maybe they reset their expectations with the 235 and now they just anchored there.
That was the answer back. So
Okay.
he asked.
So they're anchored at a bigger number. Okay.
The answer back was, we got 235, all cash.
We could do it again. Yeah.
Right. And my answer to him was, but they didn't close.
They didn't close. It didn't matter.
Congratulations. Somebody offered you $17 billion for your house.
Yeah.
And it didn't close. If you want to get 17 billion again, you better wait 4,000 years. Ain't
Yeah.
gonna happen. So to your point though, you nailed it. They pegged back at the 235.
235. Okay.
So they're pegged back at the 235. That's why I went back in at the 225 and said,
Yeah.
we'll at least make a valiant effort. You guys should negotiate, come down. I'm still willing to give them some things. She came back to the 225 with the free lease back and said no.
Well, did she really say that, or the seller said that? It's the seller.
The
She wants it closed because, again, right, this agent's burning daylight, burning wheel, tires. She wants it. It's not on her now. I bet the seller said no.
Probably at that point, but she, again, I mean,
She set it up that way. Yeah.
She was the wrong one to have told him, you'll never get 240 for this house. And then you got a 235 cash offer.
And now he's not trusting her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's sitting there going, you're an idiot. You're an
Did
idiot.
you actually, you said you drove out there twice, but it sounds like you never connected.
I never connected with him. I drove out there, and hey, I'm one of those guys that if it's supposed to happen, it happens. I'm one of those guys. Yeah. So I was
It's
shocked.
probably good that you didn't talk to him because
Probably.
you have a probably. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, maybe he really is the problem, but I doubt it because I started asking around about this agent.
But you would have never got the phone call back if you had poisoned that well. We would have never.
We didn't get the phone call back.
Oh, but she would have never returned your call.
Yeah. So that, potentially. Yeah. So that was the thing is, have we ever poisoned the well? Probably. The issue is that she puts this back on the market and she doesn't even come back to us after she gave us a Dear John letter.
Yeah. That's not representing your clients.
Not at all on any level. At least have the conversation with us. Worst thing we can say is no. But why are you not at least coming back to us?
So you put it out at 225. Sounds like yesterday they came back and said no. Do you go back in a week at 220?
So they came back and said no. And then they said, we're going to counter. They countered at 235 and all the things that he asked for. And I said to my agent, I said, we're not replacing the deal that they just lost, especially when they just kept that woman's $10,000 deposit. He's getting exactly the deal he wanted.
Yeah.
Just $10,000 from that other buyer.
Yeah.
Me. He's getting exactly the deal he wanted. So I asked him, I said, what do you think? He goes, honestly, he's like, now that they've moved it to an all cash deal,
there's less buyers.
There's so few a buyer that want to buy in that area all cash.
On that project with that amount of work and dated.
Yeah.
Who needs a car lift? Very few people.
Exactly. Who needs a car lift? Very few people. Who wants a, mobile?
You're kind of making my point. Why the fuck did you offer? Oh, sorry. Why did you offer 235?
225. 225.
Or 225.
Yeah, 225.
Dude,
it was because so purely driven based on my yield.
I get it.
But
sometimes people got to pay a price. Sometimes they got to pay a price.
Don't disagree. And so I was of the ilk. I remember saying, I will call myself out. I remember saying, I will never put $1 in her pocket.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember saying that.
I do too.
And now there is a chance I will put $1.
Yeah, that's right. You're not that mad.
Yeah. Like I'm looking at the deal and
it's 41%. It's 41%. Yeah.
It's a number with a 4 in front of it, Michael.
That would go down as the deal of the year. That's a good number.
That's a crusher of a deal. So where we stand right now is we withdrew our offer.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Walk away.
And again, so you went out again, I would pray, cross my fingers it's still on by August 10th. And I write my next offer at 215.
Yes. Yeah.
I would walk his ass down.
That number might be 200.
There you go.
Right?
Because now you've had time. Because again, once he said all cash, his pool of buyers went.
Exactly.
Ford properties, you got a mobile home, a freaking outhouse with no water. You've got this. I mean, dude, 200 all day. 200. Just stop it. 200. Yeah. Shit, 199. Let's get nutty with it.
It's not get too nutty with it. It's still 40% return.
I understand. But yeah, this is fun. I love deals like this. They always come back. We're running into a market where more and more deals will come back. Why do I tell everybody buy box and daily discipline? You got to see stuff like this. I've seen this thousands of times. Sure. A new investor who's not been in a market that changes like this, they're going to see their first thing come back and go, oh my God, it's back. And oh my God, it's back at a lower price. Yeah, well, the market's changing. It's going to be awesome.
How many deals in the last 3 years have been comeback deals?
Oh, almost none.
Like basically zero.
Yeah, it might have been one by accident.
Yeah, like literally zero. So for me, this was maybe my second comeback deal in 2 or 3 years. Yeah. And so when I looked at it, I just said, the deal principles are still there. The deal tent poles are still there. The return.
Yeah, I'm not as angry as much. I'm okay now.
I'm still willing to take a lot of money. Yes. And so now we're just looking at, but we're patient. But I think the key is, so Michael, you and I know this well from our tech background. Mm-hmm. There are companies that put their buyers and executives through purchasing programs of how to negotiate.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You ever try to sell to Walmart? Not fun.
The
worse than the federal government. Walmart is the worst.
It is by far the worst.
By far.
Like literally, by the time you get a deal done with them, they want you to be thanking them, sending them Christmas cards that you're buying at Walmart. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I don't even know how I can afford to deliver this to Walmart for this price. I might have to wrap every single deal in $1.
Yeah.
So we know these professional buyers out there that are amazing. And the first rule that they teach us all is, don't be afraid to walk away. And if you really want to be an elite negotiator, walk away 3 times. 3 times. That's a lot. And because each time that you get them to come back, you're giving something up and then they still walk away.
Mm-hmm. No, it's painful. I've successfully sold to Walmart a couple of times and it doesn't get easier. It does. It sucks all the time.
Yeah. It was, I think mine that was like that the most was probably when I was selling to Discover Card.
Oh yeah.
They were a nightmare.
Yeah, they're
And
pretty tough.
eBay.
Oh, eBay. Yes, I've sold there too. Yeah.
eBay was yeah, tough.
Yeah. Cisco back in the day was a nightmare to sell to as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All, I
They're
mean,
just there are some companies that leave scars, just deep scars.
you ever heard of a company called Quad Graphics?
No.
It's a tiny it was a tiny company. They were doing a massive deal. And that guy, I swear, must have been like the guy from Indiana Jones and like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like struck fear into you when you heard his voice. And you're just like,
Oh,
whatever he asked for, I'm probably not going to be able to give him.
yeah.
And then like, well, we're not going to do business. We're just not going to do business. We'll just cross you off the list. We're on to the next.
Yeah. Go to my competitor. I'll give you their number.
Exactly. So I think that I have the information that I need on this one. We pulled back the deal. Now we're in a waiting period. We're going to wait and see what we see back from these guys. We'll probably touch base. We'll be monitoring in MLS, but we'll probably touch base in a week.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And I'd walk my numbers back.
Yeah.
Because again, once he went all cash, he feels better because that was the last deal, but his buyer pool went like
Mike, his buyer pool, it's literally, look at the price point, 240K.
Mhm.
How many people are shopping cash at
not today?
240K?
Maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
Today?
Not
as Dion would say, not today.
Nope, not today. So Mike, thanks for your help on this. Where can everybody find you, my friend?
One rental at a time, and we will be going live tomorrow at 8 a.m. Your questions, my answers. Let's have some fun.
And you have your Facebook Live group after that. What topic are you covering?
We will be doing a deep dive for
Yes.
all of my students on pre-foreclosures, 90 minutes pre-foreclosures. Don't wait for foreclosures. As Graham Stephan says, they will take 900 days.
Yes.
Shop in the pre-foreclosure aisle. And I'm going to skill up, as are my students. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds good to me. Thank you, my friend. You can always find us on Lumberjack Landlord, YouTube, Instagram. As I always say, we try and create great content for you. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. You'll see these on one rental at a time, sometime this weekend. Mike, thanks so much for your help. And I will update everybody next week in our session with hopefully at least one of these deals under contract.
If you can't get both, what kind of salesperson are you? I mean, really, are you trying to sandbag me here?
I suck.
I hear my sales leaders.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I'm the worst. I need to go home for the day. Yes, exactly.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Mike, thanks so much for the time. Everyone, thanks so much for watching. We'll give you those updates next week, and make sure that you're on One Rental at a Time live stream on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 11:30 a.m. Eastern time Sunday is my live stream also on my channel. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.